Hey everyone, and welcome to the Conversation Starter podcast, part of the Connect the Dots campaign, connecting communities one conversation at a time. My name is Shirley Blanche, and I'm one half of the Conversation Starter project, along with the lovely psychologist Dr. Tara Quinn. And through our volunteer-led CIC, we offer both free and paid community wellbeing services in West Sussex. And today we're absolutely delighted to be joined by the lovely Rachel Pawley from Health and Independent Living Support. Rachel, welcome to the Conversation Starter podcast.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me.
Hi.
So, Rachel, we're so excited to have you here because I think the service that your organisation offers is really, really important. And it's a really important aspect in terms of people being able to keep their independence, which I think is really vital as you're ageing. And so I thought it would be really nice if you could give us an overview of your organisation, because I know it's not just based in West Sussex, but you sort of offer different services in different areas as well. So I thought if you could give us an overview about the background of the organisation, how it came to be, because it's a community interest company, and I think that's quite interesting in itself as well.
Yeah, so Health and Independent Living Support, we pronounce it as HILS, was actually founded in Hertfordshire in 2007. And the whole aim of it is to help people, support people to live longer in their own homes where they want to be. So we provide a provision of services, especially in Hertfordshire, to help with this. So in Hertfordshire, we may do day centres, lunch clubs, we do active ageing, and our Meals on Wheels service. So back in October 2022, HILS came down to West Sussex to take on the contract for West Sussex County Council. And so they started providing the Meals on Wheels service here, and we're now in Hampshire as well, and that was a year later. And so now we're the UK's largest not-for-profit Meals on Wheels service.
I love that. I love that it's a not-for-profit organisation providing this as well. I think that's really, really nice. So the services that you offer, we're based in West Sussex, and you offer Meals on Wheels is primarily the only one that you offer actually in West Sussex. I know that Hertfordshire offer more services, don't they? So I think we could cover that as well, because there might be people listening from anywhere. So if you could just give us an overview of all the different services that you can access in Hertfordshire, that would be great.
Okay, well, the main ones that we offer is the active ageing. So that's helping people in their own homes to keep mobile. They also have day centres for dementia. They also do other services as well to support people in the community. So yeah, they do a variety up there. They also have a hospital discharge plan where when people come out of hospital, they receive meals for free. So yeah, and hopefully over time they'll be bringing the services down here. We're actually just about to launch in September our breakfast packs. This is an additional service to the one that we provide in West Sussex, and it's something that we've brought down from Hertfordshire. So we'll be able to provide more services as part of our Meals on Wheels range. So we're quite excited about that. But yeah, there's a lot of services that can help you up in Hertfordshire.
I thought it was really interesting because I was looking at your website and there was advocacy as well, which I think is really, really important, especially, when you have dementia and things. And I kind of felt like it was a real shame that all of the services that are offered in Hertfordshire aren't offered in West Sussex as well.
Yeah.
What's the reason for that? Does that come down to the individual councils? Is it a funding thing?
Yeah, it's mainly a funding thing because obviously we need the funding, or we do a lot of fundraising as well to provide services. So services like that is provided by grants, but also fundraising efforts on our behalf. So yeah, I think in time, if we do get the funding down here, or we want to bring the services down into West Sussex, they will slowly bring them down. But yeah, no, that's a really great service up in Hertfordshire, and it helps a lot of people.
I think it's fantastic. You're doing really amazing work. So let's focus then, because this is a community podcast and we are based in West Sussex. Let's focus on the services that you provide here. So Meals on Wheels, it's something that we've all kind of grown up with and known as out there. But I think until you actually need it and you need to access it, you don't know how to go about that. So what does it actually look like? If someone wants to come along and they want to access it, what is the Meals on Wheels service to start with?
Yeah, the service itself, it's a two-course hot meal that is delivered by our lovely community team members. It's delivered into someone's home, hot, ready to enjoy. And then on delivery, do a caring wellbeing visit to make sure our clients are well. This is really important for some people who may live alone or don't see anyone, or family live away. It's that peace of mind. So we're doing the wellbeing visit. We can plate meals, fetch cutlery, fetch a glass of water, however they need their meals served, we can assist. And as well as the hot meals, we also can provide a tea pack, and that's delivered alongside the hot meal and popped in the fridge. Someone can enjoy that later. And as I've just said, coming up in September, we'll be launching our breakfast pack. So that again will be delivered and popped in the fridge to enjoy the next morning. But yeah, so it's making sure that someone receives a hot meal, because it's really important to get the nutrients to keep well at home.
I love that. What I like about it is because there's all these different things out there. You can order all the sort of frozen meals and get them delivered to you and all those sorts of things, which is great. But some people, they just don't have the ability to be able to heat them up, or they might not have the energy to do it, or they might not feel inclined to do it. And so I think actually there's something about, isn't there, having that food in front of you ready to eat that just takes away some of the barriers that some people might have to actually feeding themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, if it's put in front of you, you're more likely to eat it. Quite a few of our dementia clients, we will actually plate the meal up, put it in front of our clients so that they're more likely to eat the food. But again, like you say, sometimes it's an effort to get them out the freezer, to pop them even in the microwave. Some people can't actually use microwaves. It's not safe to do so. So in those circumstances, those type of meals wouldn't be suitable for them. And it's also the daily check. If you have someone going in 7 days a week, keeping an eye on someone, that's really important. Whereas a lot of the frozen meal deliveries, it might be fortnightly deliveries. They're not having that daily interaction. So that's a really important part of our service.
That's really important. And I know Tara's going to chat to you a bit about the psychological aspect of that in a minute. From a sort of practical perspective then, what does it actually look like if someone signs up for your service? Is the wellbeing check included with the meal delivery? Is that like an extra service you have to pay for? Is that something that's just done automatically?
It's all included in the price. So the delivery, the person going in, making sure that the client is well. We also have, which I should have mentioned, is up in Hertfordshire, so they have a nutrition and wellbeing service. So we brought down the nutrition side. It's a telephone-based support back in
Wow.
October, and it's to help combat malnutrition. In the UK, we have quite a high level of malnutrition, so it's really important that came down for our clients. So it's only for Meals and Wheels clients. It's free, and they have, if they're worried, concerned about their weight, if a relative's concerned, then they sign up to the 3 month worth of calls. So you get one call a month. You have advice on fortification, how to increase calories and that. And then at the end of the 3 months, if we still think there's a health issue, then we'll refer them to the GP. So that's a really important part. So it's all these extras that's included in the price. And yeah, so you're looking at, for a two-course hot meal, like £9.15 for the two courses, and an extra course is £1.62 as well.
And so what would it be if you're having the tea included as well?
That's £4.60. And I would say there is a bit of misconception in West Sussex that people aren't eligible for the service, but anyone can have them, like you and I could have them. But we just pay a bit of a higher price. So we'd pay £11.99 for two courses. But if someone receives a package of care from the council, or they receive attendance, carers, PIP, or disability living allowance, or they're just 65 and over with long-term medical condition and unable to source or prepare hot food, you receive it at that lower cost of £9.15. So it is available to anyone.
I love that. There's so much about this that I really like. I really like the daily interaction. I really like the fact that you're making it as accessible for people as possible. The malnutrition thing, I want to go back to that because that's kind of shocking. But I think we sort of think we live in this area where malnutrition doesn't exist. Can you explain to me why that is? Is it because people with dementia or people with other long term conditions just neglect themselves and so they end up in malnutrition? Is it a cost thing? What is leading to those rates of malnutrition?
Yeah, I think the main reason, especially that we see in our clients, is as people get older, they think that they don't need to eat as much. They're not doing as much. They don't feel like nutrition plays as much of an important role. So they might be a lot of our clients when they come on our service have been living off sandwiches, cakes, biscuits. And also it's motivation. If you're living on your own and you're just cooking for one, it's quite easy just to go without food. And that sort of then relays into not eating well. I mean, you could have someone that doesn't look underweight, but actually they're malnourished because they're not getting those nutrients into them to help them keep well. And we there is unfortunately is a high amount of malnutrition in the UK, and that is due to just people not really looking after themselves properly, and choosing options that aren't possibly the most nutritious for them. And so yeah, the main conception is I'm older and I just don't need to eat much, but
Yeah.
it is still really important.
And I think with age, you often get digestive issues as well, don't you? So
Yeah,
people might have very specific digestive issues. Certain foods might start to upset them, so they think it's easier to avoid those foods
yeah.
rather than, and so then they get worried about what they can eat. So I really love the fact that you have that telephone support that people can access to be able to get better information and better education. Because also, let's not forget that the generation that you're talking about might not have access to the sort of information that younger people have who are going online all the time. They can often be maybe not sort of very tech savvy or might not be online at all. And so we sort of take it for granted that we can look up all this information all the time, but it's not always so accessible for older people, is it?
No, like you say, a lot of information is digital these days, so they're not getting the information like we get about how much sugar is in maybe a Coke or something. So they're not having that information, and also, I guess also it's just people can't get out to get the food, or because a lot of time if you're having a food order, we could do it all online, but some of our clients won't be able to do the food shop online. They have to go physically
Mm,
in the store, but they can't get in the store because they can't get there. So they might
mm.
rely on like local shops which don't have that. I think probably when they were younger, you had the big, so well, a lot more food choices, I think, in your convenience stores, like just that, like in your village. But I don't think we have that as much anymore, not as much choice. But also going back to those with like digestive issues and that, we do have our standard menu, but we also have menus that cater for people's allergens. So
Okay.
if someone does have an allergen, then they can work with our team, and we produce menus that are created just for them, so that they don't see meals that might upset their tummy or they're allergic to. So we do offer menus for anyone's cultural or dietary requirements as well.
That's amazing. I mean, it sounds like, as someone that hates cooking, I'm quite tempted myself. Um, so, if somebody wants to order your meals, like how would they do it? So, I'm sort of listening to this and thinking maybe I've got a relative that I think would really benefit from your service. How would they go about approaching you and organising all of this?
Yeah, so it's important to say that anyone can refer anyone. So you can refer a client, you can refer a friend, neighbour, or it can be the client themselves. Um, Unfortunately, going back to the digital way, the most convenient way is to go on our website and fill out an online referral form. But we understand that clients that are needing to refer themselves might not have the capability to do that. So they can give us a call, um, and then our admin team support will just do the referral over line for them. Once we receive their referral, it doesn't take that long. We do like 12 to 24 hours notice, but once they've completed their referral form, they should be able to receive a meal the next day. So it's very quick
Wow.
setup.
So presumably they don't have to sign up to have a meal every single day. They can just choose how many days a week. Is there a minimum amount?
Yeah, no, it's really flexible. So they could have 1 day a week, they could have 7 days a week, they could have it like once in a blue moon. It's entirely up to them. So it's really good for times maybe they just need it for a short term. I mean, it's Carers Week
Mm.
this week, and a lot of carers might have it when they're feeling a bit overwhelmed, or they're going through a poorly period, or they want to go away for the weekend, or someone's come out of hospital and they might need us for a couple of days when they return home. And it's really flexible in the fact that there's no upfront costs. You pay at the end of the month for what you've had during the month. And if you needed to cancel a meal, you've got up until 8:30 in the morning to do so. And if you're on our
Wow.
system, and you woke up feeling quite poorly and fancied a meal being brought in, call us up by 8:30 and we should be able to get one out to you. So it's
That's
great
amazing.
flexibility. Yeah.
That's that's incredible service. In this day and age, you just don't get that kind of service. I think that's amazing. So, what kind of meals do you do then? What sort of things are they? And have you kind of had some nutritional input around the sort of meals? It sounds like you are, because you're kind of catering to different sort of digestive issues and things like that, and allergens.
Yeah, so we can offer an array of meals. So everyone has the option of 5 hot meals, no, sorry, 4 hot meals to choose from a day, and 4 puddings, or they could have a soup option as well instead of the pudding. But all our meals are created by a company called Appetito, so they're all nutritionally balanced, and they've been created by dietitians as well. And so you know you're getting the nutrients. They cook like someone would do at home. So they're quite traditional. We do cottage pies, we do Lancashire hot pots, we do fish and chips, we do sweet and sour chicken. There's a lot of choice for our clients to choose. And so they're made up in Appetito, in a big kitchen, like our clients would do at home. They're blast frozen, then they get sent to our depot in Climping and Ford, or in Horsham, at Age UK Live in Your House, and there they get cooked up in the ovens and then they go out in our cars. So you can be assured by the safety aspect as well. All our meals are checked for any sort of bacteria before they are released to HILS, and the safety standards are very high at Appetito as well. But the meals themselves, they are very nutritious, and yeah, they've been created by head chefs and dietitians. So
Amazing. And I'm guessing you've got sort of quite rigorous safeguarding in terms of the people that deliver the meals as well, because that's something else that I think people would be concerned about.
yeah, so all our drives are DBS checked, and during their induction, they have how to carry out our well-being checks. And we also have a no reply procedure, which is really important for clients who might have dementia, or even our clients who may have had a fall in the night. So if we turn up at a property, we have to see the client. So the meals are delivered between 11 and 2 o'clock. So if someone knows they're not going to be in, it's a good idea to cancel up until 8:30 that morning, because if you're not there, we will try and find out where you are. So it'd be called to the next of kin, it'd be called to a hospital sometimes. And unfortunately, sometimes we do enter properties and we have found that one of our clients have fallen in the night. And if that does happen, then our drivers will contact an ambulance and wait with the client until an next of kin comes, or the paramedics come themselves. So that's a real big safeguarding. And if we do have any issues, we always raise safeguarding issues with the council or whoever we need to.
I think this is incredible, and such peace of mind for people who've got relatives that live far away as well, just to know that they're being sort of checked in on every day. I
Yeah.
think it sounds really great. I'm going to hand over to Tara now, who's going to just chat a little bit about some of the benefits, because there's so many overlaps, aren't there, Tara,
Yeah.
in terms of what we see and how we're sort of helping to overcome social isolation with the project and the walks that we do. And having a service like this, I think, is a really good add-on and something, a really good referral pathway for people that we might have on our walks who, sometimes might not want to cook for themselves, or might be in a situation where they've just had surgery, or something like that. I think it's such an amazing resource, isn't it?
It is, because we met, didn't we, on a recent community kind of wellbeing event, and I was really struck that there may be a bit of kind of cognitive bias. It's just meals, it's just food, it's kind of ticking a box. It's just how much you're noticing on the front line in terms of what people in our community are dealing with in terms of their health and their emotional health. And I thought that would be something really interesting to talk about on this podcast. Just today, I've been really struck with the amount of choice, not only about what they eat, but when they eat, how, the care that's taken in how that food's delivered, and just the dignity. That's really important for people. So if you're at a stage of your life where you're vulnerable for whatever reason, to me, I just think that's really powerful. That's what community's about, isn't it? That's what connection's about. And I wanted to ask you, it may seem to someone listening, well, it's just a meal, it's a quick in and out of a house, but why do you think those acts of kindness and care are so important for people's well-being and connection with the wider community?
Yeah, so it is one of the main benefits of our service is that social connection.
Yeah, yeah.
And we try to keep the same drivers for our clients so that our client gets to know
Ah,
our drivers gets to our clients. And it could just be a chat about what did you watch on TV, or they know what their hobbies are. So
yes,
is that going in just a quick chat? Hello, how are you doing? And our drivers are really good at spotting signs that we might need to let someone know about. So it could be
yeah,
something simple as maybe someone isn't doesn't look their usual self. Maybe they look a bit down, or they haven't got out of bed today, and they're usually out and sprightly. We do relay stuff like that back, because it could be like a warning sign or something
absolutely.
bigger. But yeah, they're really good at making sure our clients are well. And also, they provide our clients with that security,
Yeah,
especially people who might be a frequent faller. They know that someone's going in to make sure that they're okay the next day. And I speak to a lot of our clients who I've met quite a few clients over the last few weeks. There's some photo shoots and that, and it's so lovely the rapport they have with the clients. And whenever you speak to them, they really enjoy them popping in, just saying hello. We have a lot of clients that have bereavements as well, so
yes, yeah,
it's nice for the family to know that we're going in. It's that extra pair of eyes, that extra one to say,
yeah.
hello, how are you doing today? It takes a little bit of pressure off them. But also it's just a delight for our clients. They just love our seeing our drivers and having that little check in and chat with them, because a lot of our clients might not see someone for a fortnight, and it is only our driver that they see. So it does really help with social isolation.
And that's the real, I'm going to call it, that's kind of the hidden side. I think that some people may think, that as a human being, we kind of have basic needs. We're warm, we're in a home, we're dry, we have a hot meal. But it's so much more than that we need to thrive. And Shirley and I are all
Yeah.
about value-based living, not just kind of box ticking. And I think that this is actually really important for people to hear, that if you have a relative and you're kind of on the fence with, what they may need from purely nutritional point of view or convenience point of view, that this is so much more than that. I think I've had a misconception today. I've learned so much about what you guys do and actually how invaluable, it's almost kind of a bit cheesy, but priceless, isn't it? That you guys are
Yeah.
forging those relationships. But what that means to that person, we know, Shelley and I, from our walks, that routine and consistency is really important. That even if you're not coming to one of our walks, it's there. Actually, the same thing probably applies to your service. If I have a fall, someone will be around at some
Yeah.
point. I have that relationship, and what it does for loneliness and isolation and brain changes to know that you have a meaningful conversation. So what I really love is that your drivers are forging meaningful connections.
Yeah.
What is it about that? So what's the difference? When you look, let's be really honest with, volunteers doing fantastic things, but there must be a lot of meals to deliver. You could just do a quick, hi, how are you? Cutlery out and go. But what is it that makes your volunteers particularly take that time to build up relationships when
I
they're
think,
probably very busy and on a schedule?
yeah, I think because they sort of stick to the same rounds, they get to know the client, and so they like the hobbies. I mean,
Yeah.
when you go in there and you listen to the drivers talking to the clients, they know exactly, like they might know relatives, they might say, "Oh, did you see Brenda the other day?" Just little things like that. And we had a couple of months ago, there was a client, and I think he was in the war. He was from Poland, and he came over here after the war, and one of the drivers made a little Spitfire model out of one of those
Oh,
little
So
models, and
lovely.
he gave it to him, and he made it for
Wow.
him. It's that compassion our drivers have, and to do
Yes.
that outside of your working time, I think is incredible. And also, you could, whenever you ask our drivers about Christmas Day, because we deliver Christmas Day,
Do you? Wow.
yeah, we deliver 365 days a year, and Christmas Day doesn't cost any more; it's the same price. But you ask a driver about delivering on Christmas Day, and they love it. They say feel like a betrayal if they don't see their client that
Yeah.
day, and I think that's what really hits me at
Yeah.
how brilliant their role is, and the connection that they have. They do really get that connection, and they want to help our clients and make sure that they're okay every day. So, and they're all from like different backgrounds. Our drivers are probably a lot of them are post retirement. We do have a lot of younger drivers now, but they wanted to give back something to the community, and so they come and
Yes.
join us. So it's really lovely to have them on board. So,
Because we talk about that quite a lot as well, that we do a lot of support in the voluntary sector. We have our own volunteers, and we know that volunteering isn't just about helping people, but it's about also what it can mean for you to give. So we know there's a lot of wonderful well-being benefits for that, and that just shows you the difference, that you can't fake that stuff. We'll put it bluntly. Those
no,
physical connections, people want to retain that information in a world where we're super busy. Some of us are so overwhelmed, aren't we, that we might not have the time or be able to take the time to do that. And for me, that I was going to ask, kind of, what does a conversation look like? What are the important things? And you've really put that really succinctly, in terms of that it's about showing that person they matter. Dignity, value, choice, those are the things that have come out
mm,
to me today in terms of what you provide. And I'm going to be really bold and say, it's almost, I've realized the food is almost just one tiny element. It's actually the wider stuff that's really struck me today, in terms of what those people
yeah.
get. Is it right to ask you, because I'm just wondering whether people really have, so we're in Horsham, we cover Horsham and Southwater with our kind of walk and talks, and you cover West Sussex, but how many people are not seeing another human for a few days at a time? How many, do you know what kind of percentage of the people that use your service are living alone, and this is their main
Um,
kind of source of contact?
Yeah, I don't know necessarily just for Horsham, but I know we have done surveys in the past,
Yeah.
and you're probably looking at like, I can't remember now, about 86% of our clients, they don't see our
wow.
driver, wouldn't see anyone.
Wow,
We
that's
just,
staggering.
yeah, but that's the whole of Hertfordshire, West Sussex, and Hampshire. But yeah, our clients, because who needs our service, are often quite housebound. They don't
Yeah,
have the ability to go out and meet people. Um, so it's really good for them to have that connection. And some people don't have family that live by now. A lot of us, I think, back in the day, you live quite close all together,
yeah,
but now we all live far away. We've got jobs and we are working longer, so we don't have that time to give.
absolutely. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it just surprised me the first time I saw the figures at how many people don't see anyone from
That's really,
week to
I
week.
was thinking it would be kind of maybe 50% mark. So that's way over what I thought. The thing that's also struck me from our discussion today is that when you're at a time of your life, you're vulnerable. So I was thinking maybe, demographic, it's more likely to be elderly that live alone that may benefit from this, people that kind of have physical health issues. But I'm thinking, I live on my own. I could have surgery and maybe use your service. So I've learned a lot there, but also about when we do have more vulnerable times, whether it's a more consistent thing or a very short term thing, is we still, that dignity, that respect, the fact that we matter, and what autonomy we have really matters, is that you can choose how and when you have the service, that you've got someone in. It's not just kind of putting it down and going, but they're checking how and when you want to eat. Those things are so important. Even just the choice of what you have. Sometimes we can feel, can't we, as humans, as a little bit of an inconvenience if we've got to have someone coming in and helping us. And I think those probably seemingly small things are actually really big to people. Of, I get to choose a hot meal, I get to talk to somebody who actually cares about me and is demonstrating that, it's not tick box culture, that it's okay to be vulnerable, but also that we do need to look after our emotional health when we're vulnerable as well, because some people can get quite down, they can get quite flat. The more isolated and lonely we are, if you're elderly and not seeing anyone, that can have a huge impact on your self-esteem and your self-worth. So for me, I've really learned a lot about actually what you might be doing there to tackle mental health issues. I don't know if that's something that's kind of accidental, or is that something purposeful that you've built into your model, I wonder?
It was mainly, I think, just the safeguarding aspect, making sure people are well. But I think with that, you then do get that social element as well. And like I say, we cater for anyone's age, from 18 above, and it could be someone that might have mental health issues. And they just don't have the enthusiasm, or to cook is so overwhelming for them. And it's trying to get people to see it not as just an older person's service.
That's the big thing I've taken from today.
A lot of people go, "Oh, I'm not old enough for that," and I'm like, but you might need the support. You don't know from day to day whether you need support. So try not to look at it as that. Look at it as a hot meal service whenever you need it.
Is it right to ask a big bold question then? So I'm wondering whether there also might be a little bit of kind of stigma or bias about, because Meals on Wheels historically has been so kind of associated with a certain demographic, and I'm wondering whether kind of the tide is turning a little bit, and maybe even conversations like this, that I think this is something that could be a great platform if you're at a vulnerable time in your life. We know nutrition's so important for recovery from mental health issues. What you eat can have a huge impact in how your brain functions, your psychology. That actually today, somebody listening to this may have a friend who's temporarily going through something, that they can reach out. And I love that there's so much autonomy where I'm just thinking where you could just go, I need something tomorrow. So quite often maybe families are in crisis, or someone's in crisis, and we might not know how to manage, but something simple is just starting with your nutrition that you can do in a click and have the next day is quite staggering. And I just want to say that I think you guys do an incredible service, because the breadth of people that you must support, it's really wide, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's important to say that because there's no contract, a lot of people think, oh, I'll be tied in, you can take my independence and take away, but it's not. We support people's independence, so that's why it can be used for support. Because if you just need maybe 2 or 3 weeks just to support your health, that will mean you get better quicker and you recover quicker. But if you leave it a longer time, your care needs might get higher and higher, and then go down a route that you don't want to go down. So it's just accepting that support just for a short term if you need it, or long term, and it will help with your health and well-being.
Absolutely. It's that seeing it as, I guess that kind of aligns a bit with our project, doesn't it, Shirley, in terms of we see our work as a kind of stepping stone to other things. So looking after your well-being in this way could mean that you've got more capacity or more ability to be able to engage or do other things. And the one thing that actually I'm going to take from what you've said there is that this isn't something that's being done to you, is it? I love the fact people can self-refer, or a relative can help them. You're initiating it rather than you have to have this thing. And I think that's just a very different play then, I think, on your own autonomy and kind of self-worth and self-esteem, of going, this is a stepping stone to me being able to get better, or to have capacity to do other things. And what a great service to have. I'm quite blown away today. So I'm hoping that even if somebody listening doesn't know someone who necessarily needs it, just talk about it with a friend, because you never know when that information may be really useful. And I think it's an incredible service.
And knowing that we're still here. A lot of people don't realise that we still have a Meals on Wheels service in West Sussex. So.
Well, that's exactly what I said when I sat next to you at that event. I was like, oh, I didn't know we have that. So that's why we forged this podcast. This is why Shirley's like, we need to get people together, because we're all in the same kind of area, yet we still have so many gaps, don't we, in our knowledge and how we can all collaborate. So that's why I'm really grateful that you came on today. So thank you
for having me.
I wanted to sort of echo the stigma thing. I think that you picked up on a really important point there, Tara, because also when I've spoken to people about the sort of concept of Meals on Wheels, the other thing is that the food wouldn't be of particularly high quality.
Yes.
And that it would be very sort of high salt, or, you know, like a kind of fast food that you're just going to be putting in the microwave kind of thing. But the fact that you've told us that it's all made from scratch and it's flash frozen and everything like that, again, I think that that's sort of helping to break down the stigma. And I think that that's really important, and that it's all sort of being guided by dietitians and things like that, and having that nutritional backup as well. So I hope that people that have listened to this today will have a different perspective around the whole idea around Meals on Wheels, because it's obviously evolved and it's changed. I was wondering if, because your delivery times are between 11 and 2, and so I know some older people who get up really, really early in the morning, and so 11 would be probably great for them for lunchtime. But also I know older people that really do struggle in the morning, and they're virtually not even having breakfast by, you know, midday. Is there any sort of flexibility, like if somebody is particularly a late riser, or it takes them a long time to get ready in the morning and they don't particularly want someone there earlier, is there any flexibility, or is it just so difficult because you're managing so many deliveries that you have to just say, no, it's between 11 and 2 and that's that?
Yeah, I mean, we do our best. I mean, if someone's first on the round, we might be able to wiggle it into a different round. But unfortunately, that's the only thing we can't control that much of, because we're working on a round and we've got only so many hours we can do it in. But once you receive your first meal, it should be that sort of time every delivery as well. So it's not like you're waiting around. Say if you've got it at, I don't know, 11:30, you're going to get it around that time. So you know that you need to be in for that time. But the ladies do, the team do try their best to sort of overcome that. But it can be an issue. I mean, a lot of our clients might pop it in the oven on a warm holding, like on number 1, if they can use the oven, and then it keeps it nice and warm for them to have when they need it. But we do appreciate 11 is quite early. But unfortunately, yeah, it is something.
But for some people, if you're getting up super early, then that's fine, isn't it?
I mean, we're never going to please everyone unless you have it at the 12 o'clock slot.
I know. It's so difficult, isn't it? I thought I didn't know if you had any flexibility around that, but I did think that would be the case, because you're just managing so many people. Also, as well, you know, if you're wanting to have just sort of like the if you were wanting just to have the tea, I'm guessing you can't do that. You've got to have like the whole service. You couldn't just have the tea time service or anything like that. So because it's all delivered during that 11 till 2 slot.
Yeah, so the tea packs, they will be delivered with the hot meal, and there you will get like a sandwich or a cream tea, dessert, and a snack. So there's a lot of variety there as well. So yeah, you can be covered for the whole day.
Well, I think it's great. You know, even if you're just not feeling too great yourself, or you're getting over something and you just don't feel like cooking again, you know, and you're just you just want a few meals for a few days. I think it sounds really, really great. I know. We'll all be there. You're going to have two new sign-ups by the end of today. Rachel, it's been so great to chat to you, because I genuinely think we've learned so much about your service today that we didn't know before. And like Tara said, that's the whole reason that we wanted to do this podcast, really, was just to get to know more about the people and the services that are around in West Sussex. If people want to find out more about your service, where can they go to find you?
Yeah, just visit our website on www.HILS, it's HILS-UK.org, and just visit our meal section, choose West Sussex, and all the information is there, and the form to complete is on there, as well as all our menus. But if you'd like to give us a call, our admin team support are always available, and you could call us on 0330 2000 103, or email westsussex@hils-uk.org, and we can provide you with literature should you require it.
Brilliant. And we will put all of that in the description for the podcast as well, so that people can click on that and check out your website and find out more about what you do. Is there anything that you wanted to say that we haven't covered today? Or are you happy that we've sort of discussed everything that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I think we've covered most, well, everything really. Just, I suppose, payment is always due at the end of the month, and you can pay over the phone or direct debit. There's lots of payment options as well. But yeah, just to get over that, there's no contract. You just have it as and when you need it. And we're there to support anyone.
Is it okay to ask, do you ever need more volunteers? So while we're here discussing it, there may be someone who goes, I've got time to give. Is that something that you're looking for?
Yeah, I should make a note. We don't actually have volunteers here in West Sussex. Only
Oh,
in
so it's more of a paid role, is it?
It's a paid role. I mean, we are looking at volunteer roles and what they could do at the depot in West Sussex. So over time, we'll hopefully bring our volunteer roles down here. But in Hertfordshire, we have a lot of volunteers up at the dementia clubs, helping out there. But here, until we sort of start those
That might
services,
roll out. Yeah.
So if you're in Hertfordshire, get on that website, because there's loads of services going on there. And West Sussex, come on, bring them here. We want more of this.
Our fundraising, if anyone wants to help fundraise for us, because then we can bring services down here. We do a lot of, that's our main aim of fundraising, is to help produce funding to bring the services here. So help us fundraise as well. That'd be great.
Yeah. Call to action there. If anyone wants to do a bit of fundraising, reach out. That would be great. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been so interesting talking to you. And I hope that everybody gets to, really reassess the Meals on Wheels service and sort of think about it a little bit differently, because I think what you're doing in an age where everybody's so disconnected and everybody's living more in a more isolated world, I think you're really offering, like Tara said, more than just meals. You're offering connection, which is what Connect the Dots is all about. And so we're really grateful you joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And thanks everyone for listening. We hope to catch up with you again soon. In the meantime, do take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.